What up, my people? Welcome to Agua Viva here at Virginia Beach United Methodist Church. This is our weekly digital offering. We're gonna bring a blessing to you online. For all you folks in a hurry, this is for you. It's gonna be a worship song and the sermon, some key updates, and then you're out of here. So we hope to see you every Tuesday at 7 p.m. on our YouTube channel for Agua Viva. Peace, I love you.
This next song is actually gonna be one that you've probably heard before, but it's gonna be a new rendition of it. Ben has taken it upon himself to make some new stems and make these songs our own. So put your hands together and let's sing in praise to how amazing it is to have a great friend in Jesus. Everybody has trial and temptation. Everybody knows heartbreak, isolation. We can lay our burdens down. We can lay our burdens down. What a friend we have in Jesus. He's to us, my sins are gone. I'll see grace on every horizon, and forever and ever His heart is my home. Everybody has fear, everybody got worry. Everybody knows sorrow, devastation. We can lay our burdens down. We can lay our burdens down. What a friend we have in Jesus. He's to us, my sins are gone. I see grace on every horizon, and forever and ever His heart is my home. No more betrayal, for He is faithful. He fills me up and my cup runneth over. No more betrayal, for He is faithful. How He is proven it over and over. No more betrayal, for He is faithful. He fills me up and my cup runneth over. No more betrayal, for He is faithful. He is over and over, over and over. When we have in Jesus, He's to us, my sins are gone. I see grace on every horizon, and forever and ever His heart is my home. What a friend we have in Jesus. He's to us, my sins are gone. I see grace on every horizon, and forever and ever His heart is my home. Forever and ever His heart is my home. Amen. Put your hands together if you believe that. Forever and ever His heart is our home.
Well, good morning. Happy first Sunday of Advent. We're starting a new sermon series called The Light Is Come. And I'm really excited about this series. I actually started thinking about it and putting together in 2022. So it's been a long time coming. Usually during the season of Advent, let me just put this out there. Usually during the season of Advent, you have kind of these nice scripture passages that get us ready for Jesus' coming. We talk about John the Baptist. We might talk about Mary and the vision that she had from the angel, and Joseph, and Mary meeting Elizabeth, and all that kind of stuff. They're all really great stories. They're found in the Gospel of Luke and also the Gospel of Matthew. That's where you have what they call the birth narrative stories. And for some reason, as I was thinking about Advent 2023, I just felt led to the Gospel of John. I wanted to take a look at John. What did John have to say? And those that are familiar with the Gospel of John know that John doesn't talk about the birth narrative. The only place where John really addresses the birth narrative is in the book of Revelation. And let me just tell you about that and see if you think it would work. John in the book of Revelation talks about the birth of Christ this way, that the virgin is about to get ready to give birth, and there is this giant dragon just ready to swallow the child. Do you think that would work really well? Right? No. John puts the birth of Jesus in this great big cosmic understanding of Christ. And so with that kind of as the backdrop, I thought, well, sometimes we really focus in on the small stories and just kind of leave us on. What would happen if we focused on big picture stuff, like big macro stuff, and then worked our way towards small? So that's what I'm going to do. So ready or not, I hope you're ready. That's what we're going to try to do with this sermon series. The light has come. It's going to start big, and then it's going to start moving. Are you okay with that? Good, I'm glad, because I already wrote the sermon. All right, very good. All right, so there's no bigger place to begin than the book of Genesis. Genesis chapter 1. I'm going to read to you verses 1 through 5. I'm going to read to you from a version called the New International Reader's Version, and I love this version. I'm going to explain why in just a little bit, but it's just perfect for us here this morning. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth didn't have any shape, and it was empty. There was darkness over the surface of the waves. At that time, the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters. God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. God saw that the light was good. He separated the light from the darkness. God called the light day. He called the darkness night. There was evening and there was morning. It was day one. My friends, this is the word of God for us, the people of God. Thanks be to God. Light. Can I get you to say that with me? Light. I've always been fascinated by light, especially at Christmas time. I just absolutely love driving through my neighborhood, my new neighborhood, and seeing the Christmas lights. We live on Rain Lane, and we're seeing more in my neighborhood, more and more Christmas lights go up each and every day. And some of those Christmas lights on the houses, they're traditional, where they have a reindeer, you know, the nice little reindeer. Some of them move, most of them are just like this, right? And then they have the trees, the beautiful white lights on the trees and the bushes. And some of the houses in my neighborhood have even these wonderful candles in the windows. And then there are those that I might call the way out there folks, who have giant blow-ups of Santa and the Grinch. And even in my neighborhood, there's a baby Yoda, right? A Christmas baby Yoda. See, it's way out there. And these folks have multicolored lights all around. My favorite house in my neighborhood, again, I live on Rain Lane. You should come out sometime and look. It's this beautiful house. It's got these traditional white lights in the front. It has white lights on the trees, the railings. It has candles in the windows. And then in the back, it has colored lights on the bushes, the trees, and it has a giant blow up, right? I'm not kidding you. White lights in the front, multicolored in the back. And we were driving around the other night, my wife Ann and I, and she asked why. Why would anybody do such a thing, have this kind of different thing going on? And I said, it's an easy one. I bet you one spouse loves the traditional white lights and that other, well, they just love the funky out there stuff, right? And so that's what they've done. It's a great house. Compromise is good, folks. If you have that struggle in your family, that's the way to do it, right? I also think it's super creative. I'm just really curious, how many of you all have multicolored lights? How many of you are multicolored lights fans? All right, I see a lot of folks there. How many of you are the traditional white light folks? Yeah, see that? You got that up there, right? And that's why our stores in town carry both of these. God forbid, and I truly mean this, God forbid that this never, ever happens to you. I have a story to tell you, a true story. One early December Saturday, after pulling down all the Christmas decorations from the attic, setting up the tree, I looked over at my son Brendan, and I was kind of fooling around, and I gave my best medical doctor surgeon impression. I said, "Lights, please." Right? And Brendan just looked at me, shrugged his shoulders, and said, "Dad, can't find them. Can't find them." And panic set in real quick. No lights with the ornaments, the tree skirt, the tinsel, the star, the garland. I know, because I checked that box twice. Right? I went through it the first time, and then when I went through the second time, hoping that somehow they would just kind of appear. And I don't know if your family dynamic is like our family dynamic. After I did that, we go into the blame game. Right? All right, who packed the lights last year, right? And no one could remember. Imagine that. No one could remember. One brave soul said, "Wasn't it you, Dad?" And immediately they went on the naughty list. Immediately, right? And fearing that it was me, I volunteered, although maybe in retrospect, thinking about it, I was voluntold by Ann to go to Target. Early December, Saturday, in search of purchasing new lights for the Christmas tree. And really remembering it correctly, I really do believe you voluntold me to do that, because Ann said the following. She said, "Make sure you get white Christmas lights." So off I went, driving to Target one early December Saturday afternoon, along with 5 million other people, right? So it seemed as I tried to find a parking place at the Falls Church Target. Yes, some of you have been there, right? Falls Church, Northern Virginia Target, right? I finally gave up going up and down trying to find an empty space, and drove to a nearby school, and I parked. And when I parked and made that long trek into Target, I got there and there was only one cart left, and it was the wobbly wheeled cart, right? And I took it. And I swear to you, I only made one brief stop, because I have a weakness for candy canes and white chocolate truffles, right? And these items just magically jumped into my cart, my wobbly wheeled cart, I might add. And then in front of me, there was this frenzy of people searching for Christmas tree items. It was like Shark Week on steroids, right? I had to abandon my cart and dive into the pool. There was no way I was gonna take my cart in there. And so I found a safe space to park my wobbly wheeled cart with a box of candy canes and a bag of Lindt white chocolate truffles. No one would ever think of taking my cart, right? So off I went up to the shelf where the white lights used to be. And I looked left, and then I looked right, and I looked up, and then I I bent down and the shelves were barren. No white lights at all. And as I was in this position like this woman came up beside me. And she raised her hands towards the heavens. And then in disgust, she went just like that, collapsed them on her waist. Now, I'm not going to exactly say it the way she said it because I'm in church. But you know, with inflections here and there, it sounds totally different. So I'm gonna let you use your imagination of how she said this. I'm just gonna give you the words. You play with them, all right? Here we go, ready? Jesus Christ, they are out of white Christmas lights. Can you hear how she said it, right? And with those words, she disgustedly turned and walked away. And I was stunned, absolutely stunned. And then I couldn't control my laughter. I just, oh my gosh, what just happened to me? And I was laughing all the way back to my wobbly wheel cart was gone, and I know somebody took it because the bag of truffles and the candy canes were there on the shelf. And now I was mad. I was furious, but I didn't take the Lord's name in vain. I did not do that. I just put my items back, I walked them back, and then I walked a mile and a half back to my car. And then driving back home, I prepared speeches that I was to say to Ann and to the kids about how cool our tree would be without lights, right? That we would be setting a new trend. And I came inside and the tree was nearly all decorated. And yes, I'd been away that long. We found the lights, Dad. We packed them in a different box so that they wouldn't break because we didn't want you to have to go to the store. You know, when one of those suckers breaks, the whole string goes out, Dad. We found them. They're all okay. What do you think, Dad? Well, as the afternoon sky gave way to a dusk evening, one of the kids held the light plug and an extension cord, kind of like Clark Griswold. You know that? Have you seen that, right? Christmas Vacation, and he did this 3, 2, 1. Let there be light. And there was light. A beautiful Christmas tree revealed and took shape in our living room and transformed it all into Christmas. In the beginning, I don't know if it was a 3, 2, 1 event, or if God had traveled to a Target this end of the universe and finally found a place to park and said, well, before God speaks, let's go back to the beginning. Let's go back to where it all started. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth didn't have any shape and it was empty. There was darkness over the surface of the waves. And I kind of like this version of Genesis chapter 1. It's familiar to us, but it has more of a sense of kind of movement to it, of being kind of tossed around by the waves. And I thought you all, being from Virginia Beach, might know something about being tossed away in waves. You know, when I served inland churches, I had to use the version that just talked about chaos, because that's all those inland folks know about, is chaos. But you all know something about waves. And what I want to give you is an opportunity to be in your seat right now and pretend that you're in the ocean, right? And be in the ocean, right? Come on, bounce around a little bit in the waves, right? Come on, you can do it. It's dark, no one's gonna see you, right? I'm the only one embarrassing myself right up here. Come on, do this just a little bit. Start bouncing around, right? Being tossed in those waves. And I'm going to invite you also, if you will, just close your eyes and bounce around in the waves at the same time. Right? And there it is. That's like the beginning, the start of creation, before anything had form and shape, and I might even add purpose, a reason for being, empty. And as everything is bouncing away around in the darkness, God, the Creator, comes and gives form and gives shape, creates. There's this great and important Hebrew word that comes at the beginning. It's the Hebrew word bara. Can you say that with me? Right? It's a great word. The better you roll your R and the longer you hold on to that A, the better it will sound, the more impressive you will be, right? In fact, you're supposed to hold on to that A to let every breath come out of your lungs. So it's bara. Right? Can you say that with me? Right? That's what's happening. And it means to create. And it's the first really important word in Genesis. And I know you're thinking, well, wait a minute, there's that in the beginning. Isn't that important? Well, to be honest with you, in the beginning is closely related to once upon a time or in a galaxy far, far away. And it's there to draw us in. And I'm not even going to attempt to say in the beginning in Hebrew. It's just one word. It's just one word. I would surely mess it up, and you would contact my superiors. Isn't that a way to entice you to go look up what is the Hebrew word for in the beginning? I dare you, right? Dare you to try to say it. It's a very, very interesting word. And if you do look it up later this afternoon, you will notice also that you have that word, and then you also have right? And it's connected to another word. It's a word for God. This one's a little easier to say. Elohim. Can you say that? Elohim. It's the word for God. And in the first line of Genesis, it is